In a quiet suburb lined with maple trees and morning joggers, a 38-year-old man and his 36-year-old wife had recently moved in with their 7-year-old daughter. The house was small, the mortgage tight, but they believed in new beginnings. One weekend, they visited a local animal shelter just for a look. That's when they saw him. A large, black and brindle pit bull sat silently in the last kennel. He didn't bark, didn't beg, just watched. The shelter worker said he'd been there for nearly 2 years. No aggression, no health issues, just overlooked. Too big, they said, too strong. But the little girl walked up, placed her palm against the glass, and smiled. The pit bull stood, wagged his tail once, pressed his head to the same spot. That's how they met Juno. At first, Juno was cautious, didn't enter rooms unless invited. He waited by the door until spoken to, but he always watched, especially the daughter. If she tripped, he was beside her. If she cried, his head found her lap. The neighbors. Raised eyebrows, a pit bull with a kid? But the man always smiled and said, "He's not just a dog, he's family." Within weeks, Juno had a spot on the porch, his own blanket, and a drawer full of squeaky toys he never destroyed. Only carried gently. He never barked unnecessarily. He never begged. He only gave. It was a Monday like any other. The wife made breakfast. The daughter put on her backpack. The man stood to grab his keys and collapsed. No warning, no sound. Just silence. Juno was the first to move. He ran to the man, nudged his face, then barked a deep, urgent bark that echoed through the house. The wife froze. The daughter screamed. But Juno didn't stop. He ran to the front door, barked again, then sprinted to the window. Pawing the glass with desperation, a jogger outside saw the chaos and ran, and 911 was called. Help was coming. But Juno never left his side. Paramedics worked quickly. The man was breathing barely. They loaded him into the ambulance, but as the door closed, Juno barked furiously, pawing at the tire. They tried to hold him back, but the wife nodded, let him come, and so forth. The first time, the paramedics allowed it. Juno sat beside the stretcher, unmoving eyes locked on the man's face, and the ER doctors worked. The wife prayed. The daughter held Juno's ear like a blanket. Hours passed, and finally, he woke up. His first words, "Where's Juno?" The story went viral. Pitbull saves owner from cardiac arrest. News crews visited. The hospital gifted Juno a medal. Even skeptical neighbors brought treats, but none of that mattered. What mattered was the couch, the family, the walks resuming. What mattered was the sound of the man's laugh when Juno curled at his feet again. The daughter drew pictures for school. One was of Juno with a cape, standing tall next to her dad. Caption, "My hero." Years later, the man's scar healed. Juno's muzzle turned gray, his steps slower, but his eyes as sharp as the day they met. When Juno passed, it was in peace, wrapped in the blanket from the porch, with the family beside him. They buried him beneath the big oak in their yard with a plaque that read, "Juno, more than muscle, the heartbeat of our home." And every now and then, on quiet mornings, the daughter, now older, swears she hears that same deep bark echo across the yard. A reminder he never really left.